are so excited. This is the first in-person training that I have done since 2020. We have done it all virtual, and so you may have to give me just a little bit of grace because we're changing out things, and since it's an in-person training. Oh, sorry. Thank you. There we go. Better? Okay. So welcome to PTI, Personal Transformation Institute SAFE, Somatic and Attachment Focused Training. We are so glad you're here today. We're excited to be here with you. I know a lot of you have come from different parts of the state, and so we're going to give you a few moments to just tell us a little bit about yourself. But I want to introduce myself and let you know who I am. I'm going to be your trainer this weekend. I'm Dr. Wanda Holloway. I am from Springfield, Missouri. I work at Burrell Behavioral Health. Some of you are very familiar with Burrell and have heard that name. I have been with them for about 36 years now in various capacities over all that tenure. I am currently an outpatient clinical provider supervisor. I have a team of 10 people, and I specialize in EMDR and trauma. We have a trauma team that has about 80 people, 80 staff on it now that are doing EMDR with our clients in various programs, SBS and some of those programs that we're all pretty familiar with. So we're just excited that you're here with us and getting the training. I know for some people, you've been wanting to do this for many years, and it will transform your practice. There is no doubt that once you learn EMDR and you see the benefits of EMDR and really using it in a powerful way, we can have success with one session with most of our clients. Now we have to look at complex trauma. That's a tad bit different, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But this is an amazing therapy. It's a transformative therapy, and it's going to work wonders in your life and your clients' lives. So what we want to do today is give us a little bit of time, give all of you a little bit of time to introduce yourself and tell us where you're located. And also, I'm going to give an opportunity to my staff, my assistants, that will also introduce themselves. One of the things I want us to start with today is to think about, and Cheryl and I were driving up here last night, we were looking at all the green that was over the countryside, the flowers, the blooms, all of the things that are part of spring, part of new beginnings. And so I want you to think about that. As you enter into this time of the year, what is a new beginning that you would like to start in your life? What is something that would spring forth and feel like it is going to be beneficial for you? It could be something very personal. It could be something that you're doing in your profession. This is a new beginning for a lot of you, and so or for all of you. And so that opportunity is really a powerful one to think about our lives and what we would like to change or what we would like to develop for this year. So I want you to think about the name, the location, and a new beginning for yourself. But I'm going to give my assistants, Liz, oh, there's Catherine, okay, and Cheryl. I'm going to give them an opportunity to also introduce themselves. They're from different locations all over the nation, and so we're going to give them an opportunity to also tell us about themselves. And PTI, I've been with PTI for 10 years, and I started in 2015. And so working, and most of you know, after the Joplin tornado that we had, a lot of people or staff were trained from that incident, and so that's where I got my training in 2011. And so I've just been working throughout the process of becoming certified and an approved consultant and then a trainer. So again, very excited to have you here today and have you learn an amazing therapy that is going to make a difference. Liz, go ahead.
Hi everyone, my name is Liz. I flew in from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and flew into St. Louis and drove here. I'm a clinical social worker in Michigan. I got trained through PTI in 2019, the year before everything shut down. So I was lucky that I was able to receive the training through provided by Deb and in person. Then I just couldn't get enough of it. I went on to get certified. Went through the certification in the middle of the pandemic. Catherine was my consultant for that. Then came back to join the PTI team, became a approved consultant. I'm now a trainer in training, practice to become a trainer. I practice with, I worked at community mental health for some years, so worked with kids, parents, and so just kind of now all lifespan, we're all, there's always inner child in every one of us, and the families, we're part of the family system. So the SAFE EMDR model is really all I do. I also really a nerd in science, like polyvagal theory, neuroscience stuff, and the EMDR works. It's not just because this model works, it's because this model works to just the way we human beings fundamentally we are built to function. So that's because it fits how our nervous system functions. New beginning. I have been enjoying so much since yesterday, like meeting these wonderful people in person. We have meetings and virtual trainings all the time, but this is actually the first time in person with Cheryl and Wanda, and this is the first one this year of several in-person trainings I'm going to attend and be part of. So I'm very excited for more in-person gatherings. Yeah. I'll be around, so feel free to ask questions or anything you need.
All right, Cheryl, you want to go ahead?
Sure. So I'm Cheryl Johnson. I've done community mental health for 33 years. Have done school-based services, worked in residential treatment, have done almost every gamut of services that you can imagine. My specialty is working with kid friends, the family systems around those kid friends, and then adults. So I work across the lifespan. What I love to do is I'm a critical incident person in our community, which means if someone has survived an avalanche, had a car accident, bus crash, bank robbery, whatever that is, they come in and offload that within the first 90 days, and then they don't develop PTSD. I also use the group protocol with family systems. If there's a family system that has had a shared car accident or a shared house fire, whatever that experience is, we do that together as a family system. I could talk for a long time because I'm an over-talker, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to let Catherine talk. But in my spare time, I'm an artist and a gardener. So I have just a little bit of spin on life. Absolutely love working in community mental health for all these years, and just the relief that people get in our community from that kind of enrichment. Yeah. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
I'm coming up here so everyone can see me. I'm Catherine Furbish. I'm here from, well, that doesn't help. There we go. I'm here from Nashville, Tennessee, and this is my first time traveling to do an in-person training, and this is such a gift to be here in person with Wanda and Cheryl. Yes, we've never been in person together, so. And so I was trained in EMDR in 2016 and 2017, and then I became certified in 2018. And I'm an example of one of those people who was actually really skeptical when I first showed up to my basic training. So I always like to say, if anybody feels a little bit skeptical or wonders what we're saying about all this awesomeness of EMDR, I just want to invite that. We welcome your skepticism even. And I went on to then become it was so life-changing for me, both personally and absolutely professionally with all of my clients. I just saw such immense change and healing that it is the only thing I do now too. So, and I've went on to become a consultant and did certification with Liz, and now have gone on to become a trainer. So, because I've just become so immersed in the model. So, I'm so glad to be here. I worked at the Sexual Assault Center in Nashville for a while. That's when I was actually required to be trained in EMDR. So I still see, now I'm in private practice, but I still see a lot of sexual trauma. I work with a lot of adult survivors of sexual abuse. What else? And I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So and I'm very glad to be here. So thank you. I've never been here.
So I've got an awesome team with me this weekend, and I'm used to doing this on Friday, Saturday, Sunday sometimes, and so I have that kind of locked in my head. But it's nice to do it in the middle of the week, so you have your Saturdays to enjoy, Saturdays and Sundays to enjoy. And so as I go through the slides today, I want us to just take time and let you know a little bit about our portal. I'm going to have to maneuver these tabs up here so we can make sure that you get everything that you need. I do have a few reminders that as you make sure as you go throughout the day that if you need to get up and move just a bit, there's a lot of cords up here. I'm going to have to move around. Move around a little bit, feel like you need to get up and walk around. We want you to hydrate well, because sitting here for 8 hours, 9 hours is going to be a challenge. And so we do have lunch provided, so that's going to be brought in for us. We are going to do, our setup is to do the lecture, and we will then, and we have a heavy day with lecture. We have 123 slides, so our didactic is going to be heavy today. We will practice in the afternoon. We'll do our practicums. We'll teach you how to do the eye movements, and we'll do all of that fun stuff. Up here you see a lot of our EMDR materials. We call these resources. We're going to talk about that throughout the week, and then give you lots of opportunities to practice those as well. We'll give you some demonstrations, and then we're going to go into our practical groups of 2s and 3s this afternoon, and then practice the skills that we're teaching you. And so it's going to be a heavy day, but I also want you to be aware of if there is a conflict of interest. We're going to be in those groups of 2s and 3s. And so if you're working with someone, we need to have you let Cheryl know that I work with this person. We want to make sure that everyone has privacy and anonymity as you're working through our targets that we identify for you with the NPR. And so we ask that if there are people that you don't want to be paired with, we want to make sure that we give you that opportunity to let us know ahead of time.
Can I say one quick thing about
absolutely.
water? So I think there was a question about water. So there is a water station, basically right back here on the other side of the wall, over there in the kitchen. There's not bottles of water, but there's cups and fresh water in the water station. So
Okay, great. And then you will need to sign in every day. You'll get your certificate when you finish on day 6, but you will need to sign in to make sure that we have you and have you attending every day. One of the things that we do want to do, and I'm going to have to maneuver up here, is that we want you to know how to find the portal. So what we want, if you can log into your portal if you've not already done so. And I'm just going to walk you through this so you get an idea. There's a lot of moving parts with our EMDR, our portal, and all of that we have available for you. Let me scroll down here. And so we want you to be able to find your way around. And so as you check in and log in, you're going to see, it's going to look like this, MBHC 6 days. So my portal's going to look a little bit different than yours. So your courses would be here. And so as you go on down here, you're going to see a few more things. We're going to have a quiz on day 6 to get your certificate, but that's going to be something that we will do with you. So don't feel stressed out about that at all. But what we want to show you is there's also going to be the courses down here. Here is basic training support. And then up here, we want you to check into your account and make sure it has your name on it. This is what is going to show up on your certificate. So make sure your name, you can also put your license number there if you would like to. So this is what you would want to change if it is. I'm not saying if it has an agency there instead. Okay, so as we go through the portal, what we want to do then is to come down. We're going to have you log in here or click on this link, and it takes us to our portal. And this is going to be where you'll find all the materials that you need for this weekend. Okay, is everybody there? The consultation form will do in the second weekend. You won't need to do that. Session 1 evaluation will be on Friday. And so I'll let you know all of the things that you will need to do throughout the 3 days that we have. If you haven't purchased Dr. Shapiro's book, here it is here. And then the basic training support is really what you will need to do. On down here, there are other things that you can. This is our completion evaluation on day 6. So again, I will tell you who you need to go to that. Certification program, we'll talk about that on day 6 as well. And then here's this is really just a knowledge check. We don't want to call it a quiz because we walked you through that and we answer it as a group. So no pressure there to worry about that. But what we want you to do is be really familiar with this basic training support right here. And we want you to click onto that. It's going to take you to this page.
Okay, I'm lost.
Okay, let's go back then. Let me find my back button. Okay, so we're back here, right? Are you back there? Where are you at? Okay, you're at the dashboard, so let me get to the dashboard. Let's go back. Make sure everybody's here. Okay, we're here.
Yes.
So you find your training right here, MBHC, April 23rd to 25th. You're going to click into that. This will take you to the page here that will have all of your course, the practice sheets and everything, the pages that you will need as we go through the training. Okay, so that'll give you some great information here. And then we go into basic training support. Okay. Basic training support, we're going to click into that. You'll see this table. You'll know you're there if you see the round table. Then this has 2 tabs here that we want you to know about. The first one is going to give you a lot of different materials. This is your course and access to the course. You're going to see our Google groups, our Facebook group. Here is a code that you can use, a coupon code. And I'll go over all this when we need it. So again, you're here. The important part is the materials. The materials are going to be the second tab right here. This is going to be your 6-day manual. So everyone needs to open this up on their computer. So your 6-day manual. And I have mine up here. And there's the manual. Now I'll tell you where
Mine is saying enter a password.
Yes, it's Shapiro in lowercase. So your password is Shapiro. This will give us all your information for the manual. And as you can see, it's quite large, 193 pages. We are going to go more today, to page 167, which is going to be where we find most of our group practices and most of our what we call resources. Resources are going to be something that we will use throughout our training. Okay. I hear a lot of conversation. If we need some assistance in finding what we need. Okay. So we have our manual here. And I will do some of these with you. Here's our resources. So if everyone wants to go there and be prepared, I will walk you through some of those today. And I will tell you when you need to use those. Okay. So don't worry about having to find those things without us giving you plenty of time to get there. Yeah. So you've got your manual, you've also got practice sheets. We're going to go back to the portal again, go back to the basic training. Let's go back to our basic training. Down here is our practice sheet, so we want to pull out practice sheets for day 1. Does everybody see that? Okay, so the practice sheets will be what we've been using today. I've got mine already open here, but those are going to be what we start with. Okay, here's a look at what our practice sheets look like. We'll start with the containment. So we've got all that set up, ready to go. And now we're going to go around and I'm going to have you introduce yourself. So we want to make sure everyone has what they need before we start. Any questions?
Yeah, I was gonna do the questions.
Yeah, where do we put you?
Let's go back to that. We'll start our lecture in just a few moments. But again, they tell me if you're needing some assistance. Okay. You can't get into the portal, you can't get into the Wi-Fi. You're not enrolled. Okay. So we may need to contact support and let them know. So you're not able to open the portal or anything? Anyone else? Okay. You're welcome. Everybody got what they need. So what I want to do really quickly is to go around the room and get familiar with all of you. I want to find out where you're at, where you're located, where you're located in the state. And then also, again, tell us where you work and also the new beginning for you. Okay? Go ahead.
Hi.
Okay.
It appears that quite a few of you, when you log in the training portal, you don't see the specific cohort for this training. When you see it, the title should say basic training.
Then go back to
one back one.
you see it, and there's a slide on it. Okay.
You will see the title of the MBHC. So if you are experiencing this, what I would suggest is email support@personaltransformationinstitute.com. Let them know you don't see this cohort when you log in. Use the same email you registered to email them, or let them know what email you are logging in with. So is that clear, or any? Can I see show of hands, how many people have the same problem? Okay, quite a few. And maybe during break, you can let me know if you gain access. I will reach out to support if they haven't already fixed it.
Okay.
I think the answer is really good.
Is it a specific agency that isn't being?
I did not check their email.
Are we a group of people that are from the same agency? Okay, okay. So I didn't know.
There's a couple, other people. This may happen sometimes if you were registered by a administrator or other than yourself. But email support, let them know.
I had access yesterday, but, and was able to print out the forms. I just don't know what happened today.
Oh, yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
You lost access.
Lost access. Okay. So I'm gonna give us a little bit of time to get to know one another. So we wanna know where you're from. So give us your name and the preferred name you wanna be called. You should have it on your, and I don't have a name tag, I'll get that in a moment. Where you're located, what agency you're from, and then, again, your new beginning. And I think it'll be easier if I just call you from the roll call, is that okay? So Christina A.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Christina.
I'm Christina. I'm a licensed medical social worker out of the Union Campus office. I'm an outpatient therapist. I guess my new beginning would be I'm going to be a mom of 2 in September.
Yay!
So I'm excited and nervous. My little one is 1. She just turned 1 in February, so I'm going to have my hands really full.
Oh my goodness, that's Christina.
So yeah, I'm excited to be here and to learn who you are.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you and welcome, yes. How about Sherry Batten? Sherry, go ahead.
I'm Sherry. I'm an LCSW as well. I work at Behavior Health down in Saxon, and I'm going to do a personal beginning, and that is the cutout process.
Kaylee Campbell.
Hi, I'm Kaylee. I'm an LPC. I work for Beacon Mental Health in Kansas City, Missouri. And I'm going to say my new beginning is to just be more present in my personal life with my kiddos because I have 2 little ones myself.
Awesome. Thank you. And Natalie Delaporte.
Natalie, I work at Marketplace Behavioral Health in Hanover, Missouri. I'm a PLPC, and I guess my beginning that I just had a baby a little over a year ago. Had 2, like a 9 and a 10-year-old. So I'm figuring out the flow of like full-time working mom thing. Introducing exercise back into my life. I'm excited to be here.
Great. Welcome, Natalie. And Madison Flynn.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm a PLPC. I also work for Beacon Mental Health in Kansas City. And I guess my new beginning is I'm getting married a year from tomorrow.
Yeah. Congratulations. And Garrett Fowler.
I'm Garrett. I'm a LCSW. Also work for Beacon in Kansas City. And then my new beginning, my wife's going to be an assistant principal. So I'm balanced between her doing that and having our almost 2-year-old.
Yay. Thank you, Garrett. Katie Gabble.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm an LCSW in the Union Campus Health building. That's my new beginning. I just had some like major life changes, so just like navigating what my life looks like now, and like prioritizing time for myself and being able to do things for myself. So
Thank you. Welcome. Victoria Gunn.
I'm Victoria Gunn, and I am an LCSW at First Health in Kansas City.
Okay.
And my new beginning is I'm committed to I have started exercising. I'm going to stick with it this time. That's it.
Okay. Welcome, Victoria. Samantha Harris. Oh, Samantha, okay. Bria Herod,
Hello, I'm Bria, and I'm with PLPC. I work at something, Places for People in St. Louis, Missouri. New beginning, I guess I'm navigating leadership and starting my PLPC. All that good
Lauren Jones,
Lauren. I'm a school-based therapist with Burl out of Moberly Clinic. And my new beginning is my husband and I are getting ready to build a house. So that's going to be super great.
congratulations. That is super.
It's stressful.
Yes. They say that will challenge your marriage.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's already.
Yes. How about Hadley, Corinne, Jeff?
You got it. No,
I
you got
did
it.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good. My name is Hadley. I'm an LMSW out of St. Louis at Assisted Recovery Centers of America, or ARCA. I help run the intensive outpatient program, and I would say my new beginning is kind of like exercise, going with the flow, but like not being too restrictive with it, just trying to like do the movement as the movement feels good, and then just going from there.
Awesome. Andrea Costa Denovan.
Yes, that's me.
Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Andrea and I am from Preferred Family Healthcare. I work in St. Louis office with adolescents in outpatient setting. And my new beginning is I'll be starting a part-time private practice next year aside from that job, so I'm excited about that.
Karen Lane.
I'm Karen. Hi. I am a LPC. I work over at School of Health in Kansas, Missouri. And my new beginning is balance and having things look the way I want them to look in my life.
Awesome. And we'll talk a lot about balance, Karen. That is an important part of life. Very important. And it's important for our brain to feel that balance. How about Belinda Lucia?
Hi, my name is Belinda Lisea. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work at CMOBH as a trauma and addiction counselor there in Rolla. And my new beginning is I would like to be able to, grow more professionally, maybe start doing my own kind of seminar, my own kind of thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Jennifer Landry. Jennifer Mahurin.
Hello. I go by Jenny, like Forrest Gump. My sister calls me Jenny, and that's okay if you call me that. I'm an LMSW. I'm working towards my LCSW. I work for Heartland Center for Behavioral Change and Independence, the Kansas City location area. My New Year's resolution, my word of the year was supposed to be bloom, and my goal was that I was going to work on my relationship with my mother, because I've been doing a lot of my own work. And we just found out that she has ovarian cancer in March, and so I'm glad that we were already starting that bond before we found that out. And so hopefully we can use EMDR to help me with that.
Yeah. Erica Mohelan-Camp.
Hi guys, my name is Erica. I am in Community Counseling Center in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I'm a physical therapy specialist. My new beginning is I finished a master's in 15 days, so I'm working towards my PhD. I'm very excited about things that I enjoy along with learning, so excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you, Erica. Billy Lou Mosine.
Hello, I'm Billy Lou. I work at Beacon Mental Health in Kansas City, mostly with adults. I used to work with adolescents, and that's why I work with adults now.
Yes, understood.
And my new beginning, when I get home this weekend, I am planting a little garden with my kiddos.
Oh, thank you. Crystal Neff.
My name is Crystal. Neff, not Neff.
Yes, it does.
I work at Marshman Behavioral Health in Danville, Missouri. My new beginning is counseling. I've been doing this less than a year and learning that I want more in practice than I did in school. So it's been a great beginning.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Dorinda Ofori.
That's me. I'm an LPC. I work here at Compass in Jeff City.
Okay.
The APTE team lead.
Mm-hmm.
And my new beginning was just to figure out why I can't get one.
Well, we have a few people that can help you here. Michaela Peterman.
That's me.
Michaela.
I'm also with the acting team for Compass, as the LPC. And my new beginning is, I'm also a new mom.
Oh, congratulations. Give me just a second. Let me switch back over there. Rebecca Pickering.
Hi. I'm a LMSW and I work at the Park Center in Monet. And my new beginning is, I guess, maybe challenging myself. It seems like this year and all next year there's new things. And I want to challenge myself to meet those. Yeah.
Yeah, challenges are good. Zana Robinson.
You said right, Zana.
Yeah. My name is Zana. I am LBC out of Rediscover in Kansas City with the Alternative Care Program. New beginning for me is that hopefully by next year I'll be a licensed professional counselor. So wish me luck.
Yeah. I love new students. When you're starting out with the MBR from day one, you are doing such a wonderful job of having a future that's going to really make a difference in a very different way. So, very lucky. Reba Rocha.
Hi, I'm Reba, and I am a licensed clinical social worker at mental health, and so working with adults. My new beginning was in November when I moved to Kansas City and started with the MBHC, and so it's been a lot of new beginnings, and so I moved from a county of about 2,000 to Kansas City, so my new beginning has been finding all kinds of places to eat and all kinds of fun things, so it's just a lot of new things, so.
Awesome. Rose Sanders.
Hi everyone, I'm Rose. I'm with Assisted Recovery Centers of America as well as Hadley in St. Louis, and I do individual and group therapy as a part of the intensive outpatient team. My new beginning is that I will be graduating from WashU with my master's in 2 weeks. And hopefully working towards my LMSW over the summer and, you know, getting a new job in the field and working for the first time.
Awesome. Thank you. Julie Smith.
Hello. I am a youth behavioral therapist at Beacon Mental Health in Kansas City. My new beginning is implementing this the education this year with my clients. So that's
awesome. Angela Sparks.
My name is Angela. I work at Compass Health in Union, Missouri as well. I'm an LPC, and my new beginning is we got a new puppy over like Christmas break, so we added to our already chaotic 2 dogs to make it 3, and navigating having 3 large animals. So,
Wow.
Navigating.
Yeah. Wade Sutter.
I'm Wade Suter. I work with behavioral health at the LTC, and my new beginning is I just recently started DMing for a dungeon.
Marsha Thomas.
Hi, my name is Marsha. I also work for ARCA in St. Louis. I am a CPS and I have my MADAC 2 through the Department of Credentialing Board. And my new beginning is I just started college to get my social work degree.
Awesome. Raven Cranbarger.
Hello, my name is Raven Hamburger. I'm with an LMSW. I work at North Central Mental Health up in Kentucky. I focus in co-occurring disorders and mental mechanic substance use. I'm looking to get my LCSW this fall, so I'm
super excited for that. My spring plan would be, I'm definitely trying to spend more mindful time outside of my hobby. So just kind of breathing on the
Yeah. Janelle Turner.
I'm Janelle. I work at School Health Services in Kansas City, Missouri. I am an outpatient behavioral health therapist in adults. My new beginning is, well, I have a couple actually. I recently joined the women ministry at my church, and I'm preparing to be an empty nester. My only child is graduating next month. She'll be 18, and she plans to attend Lincoln University here in Jefferson City.
Kel Burton.
Hi, I'm Kelly Yurton, and I work at North Central Missouri Mental Health in Trenton. And my new beginning is I'm waiting on the state to send me my license so I can drop the P off my LPC.
That's always exciting. And I said Kel, it's Kelly. I'm so sorry, Kelly. Okay. Michael Walker or Michelle Walker?
Yes, I'm Michelle.
Michelle,
I work
okay.
at Health Services as the outpatient therapist. And my new beginning is I'm trying to take this wonderful, lovely LCSW that's currently in LMSW.
Yes, awesome. Evan Wallace.
Hey, I'm Evan. I'm a social worker at Mark Behavioral Health in Hannibal. I work across the lifespan. My new beginning is me and my wife are thinking about getting a brand mill to start doing our own, like kind of micro bakery thing. So.
Awesome. Brittany Williams.
Hey, I'm Brittany Williams. I'm a LPC at FCC in Kennett, Missouri. And my beginning, I think, is working to find the balance that somebody else has talked about, and working on better like financial management and planning versus just kind of doing what you have.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you. And Sierra Wood. Sierra. Okay. So welcome everyone. We have a room full of brilliant people with varied experiences, varied degrees, and different locations. And again, we are just so excited that you're here. I'm excited to be your trainer. My team is excited to be here with you as well. And so we're going to make this weekend fun. We are going to try to provide as much information as possible. On the first day, it feels a little overwhelming. And so we just ask that you let this information wash over you. Some of you that are students are so used to taking notes furiously in your classes. We're going to ask you to refrain from doing that because we want this to soak in. We want you to get what you need from this training. And we want you to just be able to ask the questions that you need to, let it soak in a way that makes sense to you, and if not, please let me know. I love to answer those questions, so don't feel like you're bothering me in any way. I want to make sure that you get the information you need. So our structure today is going to be the lecture in the morning. We'll do our practicum groups in the afternoon. And then we finish the day with just question and answer. How have you done? What do you need? Is there anything that we didn't cover? And so we want you to feel like we're here for you and we're providing this for you in a way that makes sense to you. There's a lot, again, of information that's going to be presented, but I will do it in such a way that it can be explained in lots of different ways, because EMDR sometimes can be confusing for some people, scary for some people, but it's something that is, again, so powerful that I'm so excited to share with you. Now, with our EMDR training, we get the somatic and attachment focus, and so that's another part that we will also talk about. I do a lot of mind-body work, and I focus on bio and neural feedback and have done that for years. Eating disorders, a lot of that includes the whole system. And so when we do EMDR, we're not just talking about how does my brain change, but it's how does my whole system change. What am I hearing from my body when I talk about a trauma event? What am I feeling? What am I sensing? And then being able to put that to words. The wonderful thing about EMDR is that we don't always have to talk about the event, which a lot of our clients like. They love that because, I'm wanting to make sure something's not shutting down. They love that because most people don't want to tell their trauma stories. Some do, but we don't even have to hear that. So this is such a wonderful way of getting relief from the trauma that doesn't allow the client to feel like they have to live through it. We're reprocessing, we're not re-experiencing. And so I'll describe that more in detail. One of the things that we want to do first before we start the lecture is what we call our container exercise. Now you have probably seen that in your practice sheets, but with your practice sheets, I'm just going to have you, instead of looking at those while I read it, I am just going to have you sit back, and as you've all shared who you are and where you're from, I want you to just take a deep breath and just sit back, and you can feel free to close your eyes if you would wish, or you can focus on a place in the room. But I'm just going to have you think about, what do you need to contain? As we get started today, sometimes the container is something that we can use to put things away. Distractions, anxieties, worries, all of those things that you may have brought into the training this morning. So I'm going to ask you to think about, what do I want to put in my container? And as you think about that, allow the perfect container to come to mind. That's big enough and strong enough to hold those anxieties, those worries, those distractions, or anything else that may be getting in the way of your learning today. It could be as small as a coffee cup, or as big as Mother Earth. So again, what container is going to hold all of those things that you have distracting you today? And as you think about that container, think about how it goes in. How does the anxiety, the stress, all of those distractions go in? Does it go in the top, the side? And then just allow that to go into that container. Again, fears, anxieties, worries, distractions. And then as you feel it going in, if it's all inside, I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath. Just allowing your body to know that that's set aside, your brain. Breathing in through your nose and out your mouth. And then again, just settling in. And as you think about the container, think about, how would I seal my container? You can close the door. You can put a lid on it if you've not already done that. And just take a moment to seal your container so everything is nice and contained where it needs to be. And then sense those anxieties, worries, stress in your container. And let's pay attention to what we notice in our body right now as you do that. You may take a deep breath. You may feel your stomach getting a little bit more relaxed. Whatever is going on in your body. And then just see if there's anything else that needs to be safe, or something that you need to feel safe and contained. We could have you put a lock on the door, have a special being as the guard. You could put it in a cave, in a mountain. Wherever you need an extra layer of safety. And as you also do that, again, noticing what you feel in your body now, what you notice in your body. And then we're going to invite healing or spiritual energy or light to penetrate your container, to help heal and soften the anxiety, the worry, the stress that you may have come into. So just allow that light, that healing, that energy to come, to focus on your container or penetrate your container. And when that's done, I'm going to invite you to take a then whenever you're ready to come back to the here and now, paying attention to the sound of my voice. And whenever you're comfortable, slowly opening your eyes. How is that for everyone? Okay. These may feel a little weird to some people, and that's okay. It's our mindfulness exercises, but they're also resources to help our clients. And so we're gonna practice these throughout the training on all 3 days. And those are the resources we talked about earlier. And we're going to make sure that we give you enough so that when you run into issues with clients and we'll talk about window of tolerance, they get outside their window of tolerance, or they have a difficult time staying focused with dissociation or other things that may happen, as you well know, with trauma. These are resources that you can use to calm their systems and to manage all of that disturbance that could be a part of their processing. So usually the container is something that we use at the end of processing. If we haven't got through our phases to phase 7 and don't have a closure, and I'm using terms you're not quite familiar with yet, so you'll get those as we go. But this is used to contain anything that's left, thoughts, feelings, body sensations. So when our client leaves our offices, they feel contained. They feel like they are put back together, if you will. Some clients feel like that. It's just like you dissect that pain, that disturbance, and then putting them back in a safe and contained place. So this is something we will use for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We want you to get the good stuff that you're here for.